Hello there. Just a couple of quick things before I head to bed after teaching the day after Halloween. Quite a fun feat to do that. Tomorrow's going to be even worse. Everyone all that candy and sugared out. But anyhow, it's interesting to go back to the things I did 10 years ago when I studied through the Bible in a year and read about David and his exploits with Solomon and not Solomon. Solomon's his son, of course, but Absalom and all the others. It's interesting. It's like, how do I know who's betraying me today? It's like, look at the calendar. It's like there's somebody new betraying David or trying to take over the throne of David. All these things constantly happening in his life. No wonder he gave us the 150 Psalms that we have. It's amazing. Maybe there's some more even in Samuel and that we read. It's just his art of just praying, praising God, but also asking God for justice and for judgment to fall against his enemies, but also for just help and mercy and grace. All of the Psalms are amazing. And we'll get to those. We're in 2 Samuel right now, chapter 19. Absalom's been defeated. And now Joab is like, okay, David, you need to snap out of it. I know that you're mourning, but all the people that want to call you their king are a little concerned right now. So you need to snap out of it. And David's like, okay, fine. So he does that, and then he shows kindness to several of his subjects. There's a whole list here in chapter 19. You have Shimei, Mephibosheth, Barzillai, deals with all the quarreling. Chapter 20, the rebellion of Sheba. There's a whole lot of there. Joab kills Amasa, defeats Sheba. David's basically king again. It's like I'm king again. Because it had the whole thing with Absalom, and then it's like new people come up and try to take over the throne. Chapter 21, he avenges the Gibeonites, because remember the Gibeonites way back in Joshua. They came to Joshua and said, we're from a faraway land. Look at all of our moldy bread. And they tricked him, obviously. But Joshua did keep his promise to take care of them. But Saul tried to get rid of the Gibeonites. So now David, in chapter 21, is basically saying, we're going to take care of you again. He defeats a bunch of Philistine giants. It's kind of cool. He kills 3 Philistine giants. So very similar to Goliath. Chapter 22, David has a psalm of praise, praising God for deliverance, and then, of course, why God delivered. And, of course, that's important to continue. And his last psalm in 23 shows, again, the character of God and God being perfect and God's covenant. David trusting in God's covenant and promises. And a whole list of David's mighty men. It's pretty neat, those kinds of mighty men. I like the part about the icy day and the snowy pit. Chapter 24, David and the census. This whole thing, David is moved to take a census. Then he's not supposed to. He wasn't supposed to, and God punishes him for that. And David chooses the judgment, the plague of destruction. And then he builds an altar at the end of chapter 24. And this is important because he builds it and he refuses the gift of Araunah. Araunah's like, I'm going to just give this land to you. You're the king. Hello. And David's like, I don't want to build anything for God that I didn't pay for out of my own pocket. And yet he did. He put in all the money. He gave a whole bunch of money to Solomon, his son. He put it all away in savings to build the temple because God told David, I'm not going to let you build the temple because you're a man of blood, because of all the warring and all the fighting and all the battles and all of that. That's interesting that even Joab at one point said, David, you got to stop fighting. We don't want to lose the lamp of Israel. We don't want you to be on the front line of the battle. We will take care of the enemy. But anyway, David builds the altar. I think it was Joab. But anyway, he builds the altar to God there and buys the threshing floor of Araunah. And that's pretty important, significant to our own sacrifices that we give to God. You want to give to God from your own, what you have. Not what somebody else just gave you freely. That's not a gift to God, to take something that you were going to get rid of anyway, or that you were given freely. So think about what you couldn't live without. Give that to God. And think about the things in this world, just items around the house, whatever, that you could give to somebody else. This is the perfect season for it too. Looking into Christmas, perfect time of year for that. Anyway, God bless. Hope you have a great day. And remember to keep up with the word of truth and promise. God bless.